thinking that I was online, but I had just restarted Streamlabs. I wasn't online. Okay, so right. So this is my screen, and that's good. I can turn it off, and we can then check out, yes, the main screen of the computer. We're trying to get to function for us with the graphics cards and whatnot. I should probably just backtrack just for a second and go into our log to say something about the fact that yeah, last time I streamed on Saturday, some shape started to emerge about maybe how I would distribute my streaming time. And it could be that, so we're going to continue doing PureScript on Thursdays. And right now on Tuesdays, I'm aiming to do Haskell ultimately. Although it has been mostly NixOS setup in the past few streams. But I'm going to be also doing some Haskell on the Saturdays. So let's write this down here just to make it a little bit clearer. On Thursday, and we are Tuesday, and we are doing this. And on the Saturdays would be going for streaming tools, also on top of Haskell, but with a slightly different focus. And yeah, so you know, if you followed, then you know that we started doing Haskell on Windows, trying to do some GPU work, and that didn't quite pan out. So moved to a different machine and started installing NixOS, and that has kind of taken over the Tuesday stream. And so that's what we're doing now. And so that's why I'm going to reactivate this screen here and go into, there we go. Going to the mode where I hopefully can be controlling. Oh, the mouse, I think my mouse ran out of battery. All the things, oh no, it didn't. Okay. Okay, so I first need to set things up so that I can read what's on screen. So I need to set up a projector. Okay, and then I see a mouse, and can I move it? Okay, so that's because it's number 2. And yes, I can move it. Okay. Ooh. Okay, so we are on our NixOS machine. And we can try and troubleshoot all the things. I'm realizing that this is going to be a little bit difficult because I can't see quite well. Okay, let me try and zoom in a bit more. Okay, well, maybe I can oh yeah, that's going to be annoying. I need to set up Pretzel to not talk when songs change. I mean chatty. Okay. So I suppose I should change back to my screen so that you see what I'm doing. And I'm going to the settings. And I think it's in the ignore list. So ignore messages, and we're going to ignore pretzel blocks. And save it. Okay, hopefully that shall work. So let's go back to NixOS. That's it. And I need to switch my mouse back. And right. Oh, I think it's pretty high resolution because it's reading the cam link as a 4K dongle, which I suppose it is. It's its maximum capacity, but maybe we should try and change the resolution down. Can we do this through Streamlabs? I wonder whether the NixOS is also going to adapt dynamically, or X server, I should say. Device, oh, that's audio. That's not what we care about. We care about, no, not screen, but cam link here. And preset high. Is that gonna work? No, that's not gonna work. So I suppose I could try to have it. I think that's not gonna set the target resolution. That's just going to basically scale it, which is not gonna help us. Okay, so maybe I can find a way to set the resolution. What's going on here? Why can't I move this? And visibly my ignore list hasn't worked. Okay, let's go back to the screen and see what's going on. It's all rocks. Am I checking text? Okay. Notifications. In regular chat, message that says highlights. Enabled. Seems fine. Is it ignore? I thought it was ignore. Rocks. Ignore the users. Ah, I see. Use ignore users, not messages. Okay, let's try so. And right, what I was then trying to do was to, have access to the settings button in GNOME. Okay, so let's go back to actual window. There we go. All right, and switch my keyboard and mouse. And there we go, we're in the machine. So wanted to go in here and to settings, see if we could change the screen resolution. Wow, that's super small. I can't really read anything. Oh yeah, displays. Yes, it is 4K. So let's tell it to go to, I think something like that. Apply. Oh, yes, please. Oh, so much better. Okay, let's see. We actually want probably 1080p, right? Yes. Okay, so much better. Oof. Let me double check that things are coming out correctly for you guys. Okay, one. And well, it's not, because it needs to be resized. I'm glad I checked. I think if I reset the transform, there we go. That looks good to me. Oh, we are getting there. We are getting there. It is no net. We're doing it as we're solving things as they come. Okay, very good. So we can finally get into Nix things. What? Oh yeah, because I am not on the right mouse, and now I am. Okay. So let's start a terminal. So the important bit is this bit, right? We are trying to change our configuration in NixOS, and we have the swap file found thing, and we want to edit anyway. And so this is not the configuration that we're running from. You know what? I think I'm going to actually maybe scale. It's going to make things way easier. It is huge, but at least I can see it. Except that now I don't know where my other window went. What is this dot? Oh, dot's not there anymore. Oh, it finished downloading something for, 3 days ago. That was for my, oh, there we go. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's very nice. Excellent. I like this. Wonder how it's called. Oh, I can actually read something. Wonderful. Okay, I think that deserves drinking a little bit of juice. Okay, so the actual configuration that's running here, and I think we found that this stuff was in NixVar Nix profiles. So we're running configuration number 27, but really we just forked from, I believe, 23. And I think that was a configuration file where there weren't any video drivers specified, or another way to say it is that the video drivers specified were the default ones. And the way I understand it, the default ones as specified in the options, and I'm going to do a little bit of cleanup here if I can. There's too many tabs, like any other system of mine. We're good with that. Hardware, graphics not working is not going to help. This is actually not going to help. That I don't know. Something has gone wrong. I actually have seen that. Yes, I will keep this around because indeed we did get that problem. X11 graphics card, NVIDIA. We do want that, but we have it elsewhere. We won't keep it here. Legacy GPUs, we'll keep that open. Right. So this is the NVIDIA hardware video NICs package configuration. So we definitely also keep that open. This is properly focused on what interests us in the NixOS driver. We have auto-modded Linux drivers here, and that's the options that I wanted to see. So the default value is supposed to be this. And so now what I've been doing before the stream is I had NVIDIA underneath and that wouldn't boot. So I put it at the beginning, thinking that maybe it would just start through NVIDIA and then maybe pass it, because it seemed like, and maybe we can verify that it's just circling or rotating through each driver to try them out, I think. So two things I want to try. One is removing NVIDIA there, which should bring us to the default the default value, and see whether that's actually a good assumption and that's actually properly working. And then the other thing, and maybe we'll start with the other thing, is to check what X server configuration this generates. And so this should take us to more etc X server or X something. Maybe we need to be admin for this. Oh no, it's X11. And yeah, and xorg conf. And what do we have here? Actually, that's not it. That's not what we're interested in, is it? Input class. So yeah, it's not. Yeah, if I remember well, in system, there is a display manager config there, and that has some info about which xserver.conf is being sourced, and that's the one. Okay. So this is what starts GDM, the GNOME Desktop Manager, which is the desktop manager we are running right now. And this is the config file that's generated from our configuration file here. So, for instance, monitor 0, because that's what, yeah, because the multi-monitor is not a thing. And here we go. We see Radeon, Cirrus, VESA mode setting. And so that's the current configuration, but if we, so yeah, that's good. That's not, but that's, because that's the one that we booted on. The one that I'm editing is the one that's not working. So I think that's basically what we'll do, just to double check our sanity here, is we'll comment out NVIDIA here, and then we'll rebuild. And rebuilding should regenerate the config file in a place that we can look at. And then we can even also reboot. And the great thing compared to when I was trying to troubleshoot before is that now I can reboot and still stay on the stream. And yeah, and actually I should probably also open some browser windows about what we're doing right now, and maybe also log what I'm doing into the log, right? But we can do that while the computer reboots. Okay, so in theory, now that we've rebuilt, if we go check out the var nix profile thingy, run. No, okay, already forgot what the name of this was, and it is okay, var, right, nix var nix profiles. Okay, oopsie. What the hell? Okay. Nix var nix profiles. Right, so we just built system 28 link with rebuild switch. So let's go check out what we should have from that. Right, we have an etc folder, so let's go into that. And where were we? We were in, oh, right. That's in the buffer. We were looking at which, we were looking at system CTL, right. Yes, it's the systemd dot service file, and yeah, that goes to a Nix store address that we will need to find in etc systemd system. So let's go there. Okay. And so our new xserver conf should look like exactly what we were seeing earlier. In fact, I even wonder then if it means that because it's content addressed, it's going to be actually, well, no, I think the hash depends on the inputs, not the output. So it could be that our inputs are slightly different, so it's not going to be the same. And Radeon Cirrus Visa mode setting. Okay, great. So I have a sanity check myself. I just want to finish it by actually rebooting, such that we have that we know that the last configuration that we've created is actually going to properly boot. So we'll keep an eye on this, but we'll also. So maybe I'll duplicate this. Copy and paste and make that one smaller. So we can keep an eye on it, and then make this one transparent so that we can yeah, look at the browser. And it's rebooting, so that's lovely. And well, I suppose we might want to keep a closer eye on it. So let's see what comes up. I wonder whether we're going to have to redo our screen configuration. Probably, right? It's probably going to detect a cam link as a 4K device again. So I can't really read, but it should be system 28 and the default one. So let's see whether it goes through. Well, let's see whether it goes through, all the way through the login. Well, it finds it definitely zooms it up to a 4K device. It displays the oh no, and then it shows the boot screen. So we are in pretty good shape. I'm going to then need to do the same shenanigan again. No, it remembered it. That's good. It remembered the setting. Okay, good. just not before. So I'm wondering what, I'm kind of wondering, yeah, what's up with that, in fact. That is kind of interesting because it means that there's a phase, which is probably the like a low-level X11 phase, before GNOME takes over with the windowing system. And it seems like GNOME at least has persisted its resolution settings. So maybe we can try and find where that is, where we say that it's a 200% scaled 1080p monitor, and then try and see then what happens before that. So you know what? I think I will actually revert to my actual computer screen here, and yeah, maybe keep that guy. Oops, keep that that little guy over there. And I think that'll be just easier for me to deal with. Okay, lovely. So, NixOS multi-monitor. We haven't tried NVIDIA Beta. This is 1 year ago. I wonder whether this still exists. I'm a little bit unclear about this whole language about legacy versus beta and so on. Because I'm not sure where my video card fits. I suppose I could also show a few things here about what my system sees that it has. So it does see the PCI card, so that's pretty good. Titan XP. And but it doesn't see the monitor, even though I do have one plugin. So that's us right now. That's the cam link. They're going out through HDMI, which is the AMD card. There's also an onboard video card, which doesn't simplify things, right? So it means that the way I understand this, it means that X doesn't see or doesn't have the driver or whatever, which I suppose at this stage sort of makes sense because, as we said, we only have the default display manager config, which is this X server config. And I want to kind of take a closer look at this X server config. Except the pasting multi-line is not our friend. Okay, so let's try and get this a bit larger on screen so that there's not so many word wraps going around if we can. And we're going to have to reload it. There we go. Yeah, much better. So, so there's some server flags. Module with nothing in it, one monitor. The input class we've seen is elsewhere. And then, so this is the server, so it is in the server layout that section that these driver looking things show up for each screen. This will cause the X server to try each in turn. So it looks like wherever I put NVIDIA, whether at the beginning or at the end, I crash. I crash slightly differently, in fact. I hang, is a better way to say it. So it'd be interesting to know which of these actually ends up really working. And my suspicion is that it's the mode setting one that works. But let's try and learn more about what mode setting is, because it shows up all the time and I don't know what it is. What is mode setting? That's operation that activates the display mode for computer's display control. In kernel mode setting, display mode is set by the kernel. In user space mode setting, display mode is set by the user lang process. The Linux kernel got the prerequisite for kernel-based mode setting by accepting Intel GDM. So I think it's the kernel or userland speaking directly to the display driver and negotiating something. NVIDIA did not release all NVIDIA documentation for its graphic chip development procedure under the Nouveau project, which uses reverse engineering to build a working open source driver for NVIDIA cards. That's something I haven't tried. I haven't tried Nouveau. Kernel-based mode setting is not only supported by the Nouveau driver, it is required. And by the way, it looks like we're actually using Wayland. Oh, sorry, I didn't use the right screen, so you weren't seeing what I was looking at. I was looking at the Wikipedia entry for mode setting. Yes, yes, yes. So Nouveau is something I haven't tried at all. So is it the case? So I'm curious, because they say that there is kernel-based mode setting and user-based mode setting. Could it be that the mode setting that we have in our configuration is actually somewhat calling the kernel mode setting? Let's try and see that. NixOS mode setting kernel. Disables kernel mode setting. Okay, mode setting. Boot.vesa. Deprecated. This option, if set, activates the VESA 800/600 video mode on boot and disables kernel mode setting. It's equivalent to specifying VGA 0x317 no mode set in the boot kernel param. This option is deprecated as 2020. Xorg now works better with mode setting. And you might want a different VESA VGA setting anyway. Okay, so there is something that happens in the boot sequence. It's not in the boot sequence. I mean, it is in the boot sequence, but I don't know when in the boot sequence. It's definitely before GDM takes over. My monitor, actually, the second monitor that's hooked up to the NVIDIA card actually flashes with some buffer stuff showing up, like some what looks like boot stuff showing up on screen, but it's kind of teared. And then it passes through that. So I don't know whether that's part of that, trying each where we're seeing like trying each driver in sequence. It probably is. It seems like that's X server trying each thing in sequence. But it seems like that's also happening with mode setting. So maybe it is actually mode setting, unless it's VESA. So I think the next thing that we want to comment all out except mode setting and see where that takes us. So let's do that. Ta-da! And I switch my mouse, and I am now inside the NixOS machine. And yeah, so I'm going to, yeah, basically, I'll just leave, or shall we bisect? Let's bisect. I'm going to just remove Radeon and Cirrus. I completely remove NVIDIA because we don't trust that stuff for now. It never worked. And but we'll comment out Radeon and Cirrus because I think that VESA or mode setting is working. VESA because I think that that would be kind of a lowest common denominator. Mode setting because that seems to be handing over to the kernel, which I think I would trust better to do a good job at detecting stuff, but I don't even know how recent the kernel version we actually running is. So let's check things. So this should be 29, and it is. And so we're going to go to system 29. And let's see, system display manager, and that should tell us where our external conf is. There might be a better way to do this, but I'm building my brain muscle memory, I suppose, by doing these things. And what do we have here? We only have VESA and mode setting, so wonderful. And the good thing is that we actually don't need to reboot right now. We can just restart the display manager. And then what's been happening is that this has been failing, and then I had to reboot. So let's just check it out. So nothing happened with my NVIDIA card this time, but it seems like we are able to boot into GDM, and it seems that GDM will remember. No, GDM doesn't remember its config now. So it's not impossible that we weren't booting into mode setting then. I wonder whether it tried the 4 of them when there were 4, and then has some heuristic to choose the one. Interesting. Very interesting. So first of all, we need to restore our display settings such a way that we can see something. And actually, yeah, just zooming in might be sufficient, at least at the beginning. I suppose we could just do then. Oh, it's detecting. It is detecting something slightly different, it seems like. Because it was proper 1080p earlier, wasn't it? Whereas now it seems like it's yeah, that's what we had. We had actually. So yeah, the Camlink just offers a lot of possible video modes, which is fine, I suppose. And so let's. Oh, hold on. What am I showing on Streamlabs now? I don't have a monitor for Streamlab, so oh yeah, no, I'm showing all the right things. Good. So right, so let's sanity check things. For instance, right. For instance, X brand are minus list monitors. HDMI 2. HDMI 2. Hold on, I thought it was HDMI 1 a second ago. that. Could it have cycled because we restarted the display manager without restarting the... You know what? I want to actually check out, rewind my stream to find out. I don't think I can rewind it from here. I think I need to go check it out directly at the channel. Can I even rewind here? No, I can't. No, okay, I'm confused. I need to go into the content producer. Video production, video producer, and highlights. Yeah, and here I have a timeline. Good, and okay, let's see, let's mute myself, otherwise it's going to be hard to understand. And so that's the reboot. I think it was a bit before that, right? I wish there was a way to play it faster. Speed, there is. 2 times, like 2 times not going to be super great, but oh, I'm scrolling back, so that might be useful. Here I'm comparing the I think I might have done this afterwards. Sorry, I don't know if it's useful or not to be checking this out, but on the off chance that it's meaningful. I mean, it's not really related to the problems that I had directly. Okay, I just rebooted after that. And then NixOS restarted with the proper GDM settings, it looks like. And so maybe I did this afterwards then. Ah, yes. Here we go. Yeah, okay. I'm not crazy. Good. So it was HDMI 1, but now it's HDMI 2. Oh, you couldn't see what I was showing right now. Oh no, you could because it was in the browser. It must have been just a little bit weird. Yeah, because it's split. Okay, so no, not too bad. So, okay. Let's go back to here. And we see that, yeah, HDMI has increased. How peculiar. And how about the providers? Aha. That is also different from what I remember. But that might be because we're using mod setting. I mean, in the best case scenario, it's calling it HDMI2 because it's actually somehow detecting that there's some other stuff. I'm a little bit tempted. So I suppose we should bisect the other way around and see whether it actually sort of figure itself out, because that would mean that actually we might have been just piggybacking on another configuration. And then it could be even, well, could it be that VESA and mode setting by itself changes things? I don't know. Let's try and, I don't know enough to not have to work with very small steps here to try and understand what's going on. It's giving us the name of the xserver conf file here. I suppose that that's the file name. And insert and more insert. No. .drv, yes, but that's okay. So that's probably the conf file. Yeah, that's the out. Yeah. And the rests might be sources. There's some other outs. Maybe they're dependencies. It'll be interesting to learn about that. It's good to check out those files because derivations are, I think, key here. And yeah, Radeon and Cyrus. So let's see whether restarting the display manager crashes on us or whether it works. Aha, we see the, oh, it does work. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. So it does mean that, in fact, there's a mode that there are modes that work, and it remembers this setting. So that's probably so okay. Maybe something I should learn is how to know what is the current out of these configuration files that we saw. Which one is the one? How do we know which one xserver in fact chose? It tries each in turn, but which one does it settle with? So I suppose it's server layout that we need to search for, maybe. So let me pop out of this. Go back to our browser and see what we have. Which server layout is running on xserver? Current server layout. Server layout. So multi-head is, I think, it's, I think, the technical way that this is called. With an XR, sorry, and Arch is surprisingly, those are surprisingly good documentations. Really impressive. So let's go for that. And server layout. And there's several screens and yeah, I need to read this better. But this, he talks about Cinemara, which is supposed to be the old way of doing multi-head. Swing games. Yeah, what is the new way called already? R&R. That's the new way. So maybe it's just an R&R option then. Is it? List monitors, that's one of the things that we're doing. Let's see what list monitor and this provider does actually now that we've restarted into what seems is a different mode. Okay. List monitors. So we're back to HDMI 1. So it could be, okay, what XR&R help? Like probably we get a lot of things we need. Like this monitors are active monitors. Providers, I don't quite understand what they are, but let's list also the providers. And now we have only one with index 0. But we don't know whether it's the Cirrus or the Radeon device that won, so to speak. I feel like I want to bisect the other direction again, because the fact that it was able to detect more providers, that sounds like the right direction. So let's go that route, and let's be a little bit daring and try and see whether only mode setting is actually going to work. And restart Display Manager. So that seems to be working, and it seems to remember the settings from last time. And what's up with the monitors? Sees HDMI 2. So at least this is consistent, and it means that we were in the mode setting mode. And it looks like we do have 3 providers, I suppose, ideally, and the fact that they have different outputs here, that's consistent with my graphic cards. So, yes, I think so. I think we're saying we want provider 1 now with whatever one of the outputs. Let's see, there's this active monitors as well. Let's try that. So there is indeed only one. So, okay, let's look at the other options in XR&R. So we could select display, orientation, size. Don't know that we can select provider. No primary. Oh, set provider output source and set provider offload sync. By statute, that's going to be important. Set monitor name. that sounds like that would be, yeah. So hold on. Let's look at our system profile again. So now I suppose our Nixfire. I think there's a better way to do this. Something speedier than what I've been doing with this path. So we are now system 31, but I suppose that's the same as system. And system D, and in fact, I think this is the same as, yeah, .nix profile. Oh no, because that goes to my per user profile. How about, yeah, new channel? Yeah, no, that's, yeah. And how about this notation? Is this a thing? It's not a thing, right? I was wondering that, whether this is a special notation. But no, it's not. Okay, let's even see into it. Why not? Nix var Nix profile system. Etsy system D system, and we want the display manager. And that's the config file. With this config file in front of us, I think we can. Annoying. Right. So the fact that in section monitor there's only one monitor, I think, is the problem. I think if we put two monitors, then it will somehow try and work something out. And since mode settings seems to be able to span multiple graphics cards, if that's what those providers are, which I'm pretty sure they are, then we just have to find a way to add a new monitor and not even worry about it. Okay, that sounds like a pretty nice direction to go. So let's go back to our browser and see whether we can do something like that. No, that's definitely not what I wanted to do. And yeah, so NixOS multi-monitor. Let's go back to the main manual here. Let's go to around where NVIDIA lives. And let's see what the simpler thing, X Windows system, the driver, the window manager, keyboard layouts, auto run, OpenGL for 32-bit. I think we actually activated that, but you might think that was part of trying to troubleshoot. Auto login. X11 login screen can be skipped entirely, automatically logging into your window manager and desktop environment when you boot your computer. We can look at this later. Intel graphics, NVIDIA, AMD, touchpad, QT themes, GPU acceleration, and nothing about monitors that I can see. Monitors. daemon monitors. Indeed. Okay, so nothing in the main dock for this. So indeed, searching, I suppose, is the way. Somehow we got multi-monitors. I think that's too old to imagine we work with multiple displays. NixOS and NixOS workstation, 3 displays. Yeah, that didn't work for me. This external monitor not working. These providers. Oh, Xrandar set provider output source 1 0. Set provider of the sync 1 0. Okay, what is that supposed to be? NixOS wiki entry, that's the NVIDIA one, yeah. And the NVIDIA one points to the documentation. I mean, I don't mind looking at it again. I did find out that we're using an MXM card, which is also called non-Optimus mode here. And they say for this card, then go to the NVIDIA graphics section. So all of the rest is, in theory, not applicable. Mode setting NVIDIA. Bumblebee is old stuff currently, and yeah, just some CUDA stuff. So nothing really for monitors. Let's look at monitors and search, wiki search. Xorg. There's this GitHub issue on multi-monitors. NixOS, multi-monitor and graphics card, which I think explained a bit some of the issues, or even how it actually works. Right, yes, that's it, I think. Generates device and screen section for each driver listed in services X server driver. While this works fine for detecting which driver to use for single GPU setup, completely incompatible with multi-GPU setups. So that's our problem, in fact. Input example, NVIDIA and GPU, resulting in xconfig. That's the kind of stuff that we've seen. And then I suppose it does. So this, I suppose, is wrong. I don't know why, but let's see. Device NVIDIA. Okay, I think I need to learn some basic Excel config if I want to be able to understand this. Although it looks like maybe we could just, no, because right now we're only seeing one monitor, which I suppose is one of these guys, right? When we do list monitors, we only see one. And we need more. Using Xorg, separate monitor section is needed for each screen as an identifier. Same value as reported by xrand minus q is used. Okay, what is xrandr minus q? And why is, I suppose it's gone to sleep. I hope that's what it is. Yes, it's what it is. And right, xrandr minus q. Oh, more stuff. Okay, this looks like only one of my cards, and it lists HDMI 2 as connected in the primary, so that's the cam link, and then it has 2 additional DVI ports. That's the ATI card, and so that's the one that has. So let's find out what option was that in terms of the help. Minus Q. What is minus Q? Query. Can we query a different provider? Display the current state of the system. Report information about provider available. Set provider output source. Set source as source of display output images for provider. Source output and sync output capability. Okay, providers. Yeah, everything has source output and sync output capability, including, in fact, source offload and sync offload. I wonder if we can recognize the PCI address there. Oh, not in that state. Just minus V, okay. Can't see it. V. Ooh. Yeah, I think the answer is not really. But we have all these capabilities, very good. So source and provider have the source output and sync output capabilities. So I guess I'm just not clear about what a source is. If we were clear, yeah, I'm not sure what offload means. Let's see if the Arch wiki has something about that. And what am I showing now? I'm showing this, so let's go here. Okay, that's the Arch Linux thingy, and where do I want to see offload? Nothing about offload here. Providers, nothing about providers. Xrender. And what was this guy recommending to do? Somewhere wasn't here. Maybe I closed that window. We can close this. That's the one. So Xrender set provider output source and then provider offload sync. But these 1 and 0s don't make provider's number 0. So that's not our situation. We're in a better shape than this. We have providers 0, 1, 2. So maybe we try it, right? Xrand R. this one. Standard minus set provider output source 10, and let's just try that for a start. If nothing happens, okay, xrand r set provider offload sync 10, and nothing happens. And this monitors still 1. I think we first need to get 2 monitors up and running. So maybe that's a better kind of a search term that we can use. Let's go back to our search and say xrandr provider. Provider is not actually missing. Ah, that is xrandr wiki actually. Wow. Providers. Yeah, this documentation is so good. Except there's nothing about providers. Strange. It's even an option. So okay, so maybe it's not that good. List providers. Provider. Okay, missing monitor. How about that? Monitor doesn't show up. We did that. Oh, it worked. Code DVI want to show up in A arena. What is that? A arena, is that another thing? What is A arena? Another, it's a GUI. Okay, maybe we can try that. Why not? Let's try it. NixOS minus I ARN. What? Okay, not in the right place. And now I am. NixOS minus I ARN. It's wrapped. Oh, that must be maybe. Oh, hold on. Oh, yeah, okay. I know I have my mouse was in a different thing. Okay. Outputs. Oh! Look at that. Okay, my monitor hasn't activated, but visibly it is possible to. What's this? I like the check mark. It's reloading. Oh, yes. Ta-da! Amazing. Okay, I have no idea how we're going to configure this, but the GUI saved us. We are definitely not much of a hacker, because our console foo definitely didn't take us all the way, but a simple GUI did. So I suppose yay for GUI and noobs. Amazing. And we can change resolution and everything in here. Okay, so the ideal to close would be to generate a xorconf so that we can actually What is that supposed to be? What is that supposed to be? I have no idea. Okay, and also, so now it's mirroring. Which I suppose is fine for now. But we would want different output at some point. Oh, hold on. Oh yeah, right. No, but that's because of how the configuration is laid out even here. So I suppose if I do something like this, which is closer to what our actual layout is, then it's going to, yeah, it works. Oh, yes. Except I suppose that one is primary. Yeah, so this one's primary and active, and this one is just active. And this one's resolution is, oh, it bumped it up to 4K, and this one is also 4K, right? Oh no, this one it actually, oh no, hold on, yeah, no, that's the right way around. This one it remembered that it's 1080p, and the other one it put to 4K because it is a 4K monitor. So that's good. And we applied, except that now the thing is, how do we save this? And so what are these things? Is there no tooltip really? No tooltip. Okay, this looks like maybe more of it. No idea. Oh. Yeah, not that. Okay, so this, is this open or closed? This looks like new. So this would be saved, right? No, that's open layout, okay. And this is new, right? There's nothing. I mean, this looks like saving. So let's give it a name. Layout. Yeah, great. Where is it? Screen layout. Layout.sh. All right. Is that really what it is? All right, some of them are off, but it's listing them all, and with positions. So yeah, I don't know how to Nixify this. Thank you for this. Thank you. And so, let's see, XRN. Okay, configure display manager to run specific XRNR commands, which will configure and enable display connectivity inside the key. Yeah, something like that. So, setup commands. There's a way to specify XRNR commands, and so we can put our script thingy in there, right? I say that's the thing we try now. Oh yeah, I need to go back into into NixOS per se. And yeah, goodbye screen layout editor. You were great. Really enjoyed working with you. And looks like mode setting is our friend. Well, if it's our friend, then we shouldn't delete it. And X server layout. Yeah, we don't really care about that. What we care about is, let's see, we have right, we want something like this, except, yeah, I'm not going to be able to see it, so I'm going to need to do what? I'm going to need to take this projector, put it like this, and I'm going to need to then go back inside NixOS, and I'm going to need to reconfigure temporarily at least the settings so that it's 200% there for the displays, because hey, look at this, actually now things are detected properly as well in GNOME. Yes, please. Indeed, and it's numbering things for me. Ooh, feels like progress. And yeah, I have now the thing in front of me, so I can type it. Display manager dot setup commands equals optional string data and pkgs dot xorg dot xrandr bin xrandr, and that will be where a lot of us, well, most of our stuff will be, and then we'll shut it down with double quote. And it's not xorg, it's xorg. And then we copy our stuff, except we'll probably, you know what, I think I'll copy everything because it works. And it also means that when I start moving other monitors in and out, I can refer to this and add stuff. So okay, to oh boy, I actually don't know how to remove the carriage return in Vim. Holy moly, I don't. Wow, I didn't realize I didn't know how to do that, but okay. Let's VI and delete line break. J, capital J. Okay, let's go to this. Okay, I did it with the previous line, and that did it with the one. Okay, and then let's do it with the next one, and suppose we need to get off here as well. And so now we have 1, 2, 3 lines, which is what we want. And so we'll rebuild. And optional string is not the right thing. Okay. Maybe here it needs to be, maybe here we were defining the schema, and so maybe we want now instead just for it to be an actual string, unless I just forget something. Oh, maybe I did. Okay, let's look at the NVIDIA thing again. The whole thing with Optimus and whatever. NixOS NVIDIA. New drivers and okay, maybe we need to look at the options again. NixOS options, and we want xserver.displayManager, xserver.displayManager. Dot setup commands right here. Yeah, so it's just string. So we don't need the optional string, that's just part of the schema. And maybe we don't even need this way of doing double quoting. I don't know, we will find out shortly. Seems to work. And I don't know where that's going to go. Let's find out. Again. Yeah, so that's let's see, what am I showing on screen right now? Yeah, let's go back to this view for a sec. I just want to see where setup command is going to do its stuff, and here in theory I think that's just the there's a schema, but then what does it do with setup commands? What? Just a wrapper. Is that what it is? Display manager. Some packages. To login. It must be rendering them elsewhere. Let's look at what the result of running the rebuild was, because there might be hints there as to which file was actually generated. JDM extension wrapper, ZRD. Okay, and that will be a wrapper file, which I bet is some kind of shell script with xrrender in it. Yep. That's it. It's just a little bash wrapper. That's then going to be going to execute GDM from there. I'm pretty sure, right? What goes after this is the display manager. So it's actually, yeah, I think the wrapper is called by the display manager. Yeah. So let's see. Let's go check out the display manager. Dotting our eyes. configuration. Right, well, right. We're in system right now, but we rebuilt, so the latest system is 29, isn't it? 30, 31, 32. Okay, 32. So we'll go there, and we'll ask for what's in system D, system display manager. And here, except config of accession wrapper. That's the guy, I think. Let's double check. Is that who we were talking to just a second ago? DDM accession wrapper absolutely is with the proper hash. So indeed, that's yeah, that's called. And so we rebuilt. Now we first restart the display manager, see whether it actually works properly. Okay, my other monitor did something, but that wasn't enough, I don't think. Nope, wasn't enough. We're close, but visibly ARNR is doing something that XRNR is not doing for some reason. Let's go back down there again. Let's get the wrapper. And let's run the XRNR command ourselves while we're in the session, because it could be that actually... Oh, actually, let's list the provider first. Let's run list providers. Still saying our providers, and so let's do... Well, let's just run the... Let's just exec the wrapper with, I don't know, echo with yeah, echo yes, and it seems to be doing monitor things. In particular, we configured here, so I could be that GDM isn't overriding the settings. Oh, it's saying that there's some output that it didn't find. Yeah, so definitely ARNR. When we click that arrow, I think, is doing some magic things that we need to find out what they are. Let's click the arrow. Oh, doesn't find things anymore. Hold on, what did we do? Was it something else then that happened? Yeah, we definitely want to deactivate that. So yeah, did we do something else before ARNR? What's our dash history here? And then so can we go back to having a decent zoom? I think. Thank you. Oh, we did set the provider output source and provider offload sync. We did do that. And then let me rerun the full xrandr command there. Okay, hold on. Yeah, the wrapper one. Yes, it is working. Okay, so a few more things in our NixOS config, but we are super close. Yep. Okay, so let's zoom again for a second. That's to allow me to see things in my monitor, and then we go to configuration.nix and we add these commands with the proper prefix for package there. I think it's link and paste. Yes. See. Okay. And we rebuild. And we restart the display manager. And it doesn't work. Okay, well, that's going to be it for me today. We have made so much progress, but still no cigar. Quite close to cigar, though. Yeah, really quite close to cigar. We do get it to work manually, but it seems like I suppose like in the sequence of the sequence matters, and it could be that we don't need these things to be as a part of a setup command, but maybe like a post some kind of command. And it's probably also going to be possible to optimize this compared to if we do it as a post kind of post login command or something like that. Put in a dot profile, like a Etsy profile or something. That might be a workaround, but yeah, it'd be good to have a workaround and then to be able to stream from it instead of my laptop in this weird configuration. But it means that configuration is going to be still a little bit unstable, and probably next time we'll do again a little bit of NixOS, unless I wrap that up in between streams, and next time, in which case next time I'll be ready for Haskell on NixOS. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, and I will see you on Thursday for some PureScript. Bye bye.